Before we dive into the gritty realities of ancient life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of history enthusiasts who want more than just stories. They want understanding, insight, and a way to apply the lessons of the past. Today, we're going to explore how civilians in the Iron Age adapted to permanent uncertainty, a world where stability was a fleeting illusion, and survival depended on constant vigilance, creativity, and flexibility. By the end, you'll not only understand how our ancestors coped with relentless unpredictability, but also how these lessons can be applied in modern survival, planning, or just appreciating the resilience of human societies. Life was never predictable, and people learned to prepare for anything. For most Iron Age civilians, life was a balancing act between scarcity and abundance, safety and danger. There were no governments to guarantee security, no insurance policies to cover loss, and no supermarkets to provide a steady supply of food. A poor harvest, a raiding party, or a sudden disease outbreak could destroy a family's livelihood overnight. This constant state of uncertainty shaped every decision, from where people built their homes to what crops they planted. They learned to hedge against risk in ways that were both practical and ingenious. One of the most obvious adaptations was diversification. Families rarely relied on a single crop or a single source of income. Fields would be planted with multiple grains, legumes and vegetables, while flocks and herds provided both food and trade goods. This way, even if one crop failed, the family wouldn't starve. Today, we can apply this principle in survival planning by storing a variety of non-perishable foods and learning multiple skills: hunting, gardening, water purification, so that one failure doesn't become catastrophic. Communities functioned like small networks of mutual aid. Iron Age civilians rarely faced uncertainty alone. Social networks were a lifeline. Villages, hamlets, and extended family groups operated as informal insurance systems. If one household suffered a fire or a failed harvest, neighbours provided labour, food, or shelter with the expectation that the favour would be returned. Trust and reputation were currency, and maintaining relationships could mean the difference between life and death. This teaches a modern lesson: cultivating strong, reliable networks, whether in a local survivalist community, among friends, or with online groups of like-minded individuals, enhances resilience in uncertain times. Mutual aid is not theoretical. It was a practical survival strategy that allowed communities to withstand raids, crop failures, and disease. Mobility was as much a strategy as staying put. While stability might seem desirable to us, Iron Age civilians often embraced mobility. Seasonal migration, moving livestock to better pastures, or relocating entirely after soil exhaustion or political instability were not signs of weakness. They were calculated survival strategies. Mobility required knowledge of the landscape, negotiation skills with neighbouring groups, and flexible planning. In practice, this meant having portable tools, lightweight housing, and stored knowledge of safe routes and resources. Modern enthusiasts can take cues from this by maintaining contingency plans, knowing multiple evacuation routes, having portable supplies ready, and learning local terrain or survival skills for emergencies. Flexibility in movement often outweighs brute force in uncertain situations. Resourcefulness meant, well, turning scarcity into opportunity. Every resource counted, and honestly, nothing went to waste. Broken tools were repaired or melted down, scraps of metal and wood were repurposed, and even human and animal waste had practical applications as fertilizer or fuel. This constant improvisation required observation, experimentation, and, of course, a fair bit of foresight. For today's survivalist or history enthusiast, this principle encourages a mindset shift. Scarcity isn't just a challenge. It's really an opportunity to innovate. Learning basic metalworking, carpentry, and alternative energy techniques, for instance, mirrors how Iron Age civilians maximize the value of every resource in a world that, frankly, offered no guarantees. Mental resilience was just as important as physical skills. Enduring permanent uncertainty demanded mental toughness. Iron Age civilians developed routines and rituals that reduced stress and built confidence in their ability to face the unknown. Storytelling, communal feasts, and shared work projects were not merely cultural. They were tools to maintain morale and reinforce social cohesion. Today, building mental resilience can involve deliberate practice. Maintaining daily routines during chaotic times, learning meditation or focus techniques, and fostering a mindset that treats challenges as manageable problems rather than insurmountable crises. The psychological strategies of our ancestors are as applicable now as they were then. Understanding how Iron Age civilians adapted to uncertainty isn't just an academic exercise. Practical applications abound. Diversify your skill set and supplies, cultivate strong networks, prepare for mobility, repurpose resources creatively, and train your mind to stay calm under pressure. Each of these strategies mirrors what kept our ancestors alive, often in environments far harsher than anything most of us will experience. By studying these adaptations, we gain more than admiration for the past. We gain actionable insight. If a sudden disaster struck your community, these same principles would guide survival food security through diversification, support systems through networks, adaptability through mobility, resourcefulness through creativity, and resilience through mental preparedness. Iron Age civilians didn't wait for the world to get easier. They honed instincts, strategies, and habits that made uncertainty manageable. By taking these lessons seriously, we can approach our own unpredictable world with the same discipline and ingenuity. So, if this dive into the daily strategies of our Iron Age ancestors sparked your curiosity and inspired your survivalist instincts, subscribe to Iron Age Instincts, share this with fellow history enthusiasts, and let's keep uncovering the practical wisdom of the past together.